Hey there team, I'm happy to present revision 13. This is what we're gonna use tomorrow to be able to exemplify I'm sorry, what comes next if we were to actually jump up to the application online. What we have in here is a lot of notes of all the little things that we're gonna go over right now so that we don't have to go over them tomorrow and we can actually compare something. In reality, this is the thick of the update because the app is just an example. It's not a fit to provide any kind of outputs at this time. But what I want to do now is walk with you through the setup from zero all the way to the end. This is the shit that I'm gonna be sending to you right now. I'm gonna be sending to you this along uh, with the packed all this that you can see here. So George inventory. Let me go ahead and close it, copy it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and play with a copy. Sorry for the multi-screens. Oops, no, that was a mistake. So this is our copy. It's already loaded with this information right here. The core idea behind this version is that you're no longer going to be jumping back and forth between a web app and Excel. You can do everything here. So on top of the locations that we had before, we're gonna have to get the information in here via manual inputs instead of in the web app. So this version URL is the latest one. You can leave it as it is. These ones are the ones that we would be changing, and these two are where you would select the ID of the target output sheet and the name of the target output sheet. And finally, the default REO that currently is sent to 2. This was already present in previous versions. The path right here will change automatically when you go to the launch menu and you perform the initial data ingestion. Just one second. I have already loaded in here what you sent the year up to September 1st, I think. So right now it's going to start ingesting it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause my recording. You can look at the time 7:23, and so that this does not take your valuable time watching this video. Be right back with you guys. Okay, so that was about what, 5 minutes, and it was able to process 35 interest rate change and one for stock, and that's kind of what it does. Just one second. I don't know if I had a pause. The OBS adds a burden to the system, so in a way, even if I pause it, it takes longer than usual. I wonder what that drive icon is doing there. It shouldn't be doing anything. I'm gonna pause and get back at you when this little step is actually finished. Okay, please disregard that little break. That seemed to be Google Drive messing with us for some reason, so I hope that is completely non-relevant to what we're doing. So it ingested all stock, all change, and created our auto dictionary. We should no longer have the restock manager issues. I believe it had to do with the fact that the sheet that was delivered to George had not the completely emptied. I did not completely empty this area, and there were a few rows that on the stock that were somehow being misread into these entries, which were preventing this from the proper way. But anyhow, we got all three of them assembled as we already knew in previous versions. Everything is true, everything is default. Then we can go ahead and perform a management action. I remember George mentioning that airbar was no longer something. So what we're gonna do right now is that we're gonna take them from default request restock to no request restock. So we just disable book, and we do the same for airbar to diamond, airbar logs, and that's that. If I check other things, it does show that it is requesting restock. If I check these things, when I do that, this should clear. That's one thing I had to fix. But well, in this case, when I select something, we can tell that it is no longer being requested for restock. Yeah, when I change something here, this must empty as well. Gotta think of that. So anyhow, we have disabled airbar, and I remember that one that was very popular was the elf bar. So elf bar, let's say that we don't want 2 months, we want 3 months product stock for all elf bar products. So I just hit 3, enter. This is something else I had to keep the spaces like clearing after an action, so to improve the response, because right now you cannot really tell what's going on. But if we go and select the elf bar BC 5000, yeah, that's something I had to check. Let me see if I can fix that before sending this version out to you. But anyhow, what we did just here is that we changed the elf bar BC to ultra. So I'm gonna delete this. Yeah, I see. Okay. I'm gonna try to fix this. What it should be doing is that after we hit enter, it is gonna clear this up and clear this up. But anyway, for now, we only were able to change the elf bar BC 5000, and we're gonna do the same for the BC 5000 Ultra, and that's it. So that's that. These two, when we create calculations, the par towards the Rio should be multiplied by 3 instead of the default 2, and that's that. So but that's not where we should focus our attention. Where we should focus our attention is the way it changed the management of the requests. You no longer have to get out of the application. When you go to store reports, you no longer get to upload individual reports because the sheet does manage that integration now. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and start these reports and set them to launch, and then pause the video game because it's gonna take a while. And once it's done, I'm gonna come back and show you how we get from here to the output. Up to this point, there has been not a lot of news, but this is where I will get to show you a lot of little changes. So go and pause video. Hey there, we're back. That took longer than what it normally takes. So, well, let's continue. First, update. When you look at a store, you will be able to notice some improvements. First of them is that we no longer have negative units in stock. If anything is less than 0, we get a 0 here. So a lot of negative values are gone, and the previous inference that they were outstanding requests is ignored. So that's that. Additionally, we improved a bit the way the products are labeled. So for example, one other thing, we now have rounded numbers. We no longer have percentages. If it's cannot be rounded to 1, it is rounded to 0. And that's with anything, so every number is provided out as an integer, because we're not gonna do partial units or partial cases in here. Okay, what else? If we were to see the belief bars, we should see that, for example, this one, error bar logs, that we disabled, indeed says on REO no restock. And now in cases to order, that message is preferred over no sales. Those are the main changes, improvements in this area. Then we have order on top. Order, as before, it just shows what cases we would be asking for. This version is still not providing the ability to filter out a threshold for the requests. That will have to be left to future release. And top is the store top report. With these 2 base reports per store, the software performs the other reports we do know, like for example the who report. This one is usually much faster, so perhaps we can not pause for it to be created. The who report did not change in reality, because what it does is that it takes the order for each one of the stores that we have created an order for, and integrates that data into a pivot table where it shows the final amount for each store. Well, I think I might actually pause this so that we don't have to do fill in time. Yeah, of course, as soon as I paused, it finished. So now here we go. There we go. So this is what we were talking about. It goes and provides us the addition of the cases ordered by each store. So that is not changing for now. Let's go with a global 8020. This one did change per George request. Very fast report, yay. What it's doing is that it's taking the top for each store, and it is removing the dimension of the store, if you may. In here, if 2 stores had an outstanding order for a product, if we just piled up their orders, we would have 2 entries for the product, one for the store, one for the other store. In global top, that is taken care of. So each entry belongs to a unique product that is being requested by the addition of all stores. In here we have the main column by which this is ordered, which puts at the top the one that have sold the most through all stores, across all stores, and then it performs the top 80% tagging by, well, selecting the members that conform to the total, so that upper 80%. So that's kind of it. This is a sum of the 6 weeks average sales. This is sum of the stock across all stores and I think also warehouse. We gotta double check that. Oh no, this is the report of only the stores. I'm sorry, because we're only taking as base the stores report. And then sum of cases to order is the same, the sum of the cases to order for that product across all stores. So that's the change in global top. But that's not what's new. What's new is this. Order manager. Yay. The order manager is able to build an order from us from the order sheets just by pressing this button. What it will do is that in this new sheet, it will perform the first, it will like stack all the stores order, and then it processes those store orders into the information that conveniently is stuck in the screen right now. So in essence, it did something like what we saw in the previous sheet, where it removes the dimension of the individual store. And instead of keeping in the store column the tag for each individual store, it just tags it for the warehouse. So this product will be the one that we will upload first. This table where we have added the data from the individual stores orders will be the first one we request, and this one will be requested in the shop inventory sheet as a, I mean, like everything in the column that belongs to the warehouse. Now in the shop inventory sheet, I have taken the time to delete what is found on all of these columns that say warehouse quantity to order. The script does not delete or clear the area before writing. It just locates the proper cells and writes. So if the spreadsheet wasn't clean before, it will just add information to what was in the spreadsheet before. So let's see. Oh, the spreadsheet, the inventory automatic turn companion continues to exist, but you no longer have to do anything in here. You can entirely ignore it. No actions are required from you here or anything. When an action is taken from the client, sent online, and loaded into a shop inventory format, it will keep a log here, and it'll keep a file with the data on top of that. Now let's see if it's done. Oh no, let's go ahead and pause the video and take a quick look at this bug. Okay, back to the recording. Disregard that there was a styling function that is causing some trouble, but never mind that one. Also, I noticed that when we started the video, like there was already an item in here. Let me show you. We are actually using again the order folder. I'm sorry, the output folder. So what is found in this folder is what is shown in here. So right now I'm gonna like close this up, delete that up, and do it again. Okay. Order manager, empty, build order. Okay. So I hit order manager again. Oh no, it should reload by itself if I remember correctly. Yeah, it should reload by itself, so I just wait a little bit. I mean, it has already finished creating the file out there. But there must be something. Oh, it's loaded, it's there. Finally. So I hit build order, it went, created this file in the same folder that we set up at the beginning by hitting select initial ingestion folder. So now we can go ahead. I mean, right now we have minimal management, but we can go ahead, hit the option and open the order to actually see what's up with it. The styling function that didn't work is the one that makes this one look like this one. But don't worry, we will review that in a future version along with the earlier menu. So as I was telling you, we take these store orders, which according to the numbers we got is 734 elements long, and we turn it into a 577 elements long list where there's no distinction by store. And this is the actual warehouse order, and this is the actual stores order. Stores order. Okay, so that's one option. We can open it and see the content of it, send it, whatever. So that's one, and the other one is actually making it being written to the target. For example, I'm gonna hit write warehouse request, and what I should see is the log of the event on the automation companion that you don't have to see, and then the target format that I have already taken care to make sure this column is empty, so that there's no mixed data there. And so I have emptied all the other columns that say quantity to order, because that's the ones we need to fill. So I just cross my fingers and hit write warehouse request. This is actually pretty fast because it's just sending the data from the spreadsheet, this right here, warehouse orders, to the online companion. And the rest of the task is performed by the Google infrastructure. That's it. I go to the online companion and first check. Yes, there are logs to the event. That's good. And now I go to the formats. And now I seek in the warehouse column. Oh, I see numbers. That's good. That's good. Now, what products are these numbers for? I think I can freeze the first 4 columns. Freeze up to column, a variant name, freeze to column D. No, we can't. Merge cells, damn. Anyhow, so this is all the way on. I can hide cells. No, it's gonna be the same thing. Lost Mary products, and for example, if we were to see air bar, we should not see. Oh, Elf bar. We know Elf bar has orders, right? Unless we order not to order. I don't remember which one. It was the first brand. This is the BC 5000. But anyway, the output is pasted all there in the warehouse entry, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the example of what it does when it is used to input the store's order. Empty warehouse. I have already emptied the stores. I mean, you don't have to do this, but when you create a new format, my understanding is that the format will come with those spaces empty, so that's why we don't have a delete data function. So we select the order and we write the stores request. My idea is that in here, let me quickly check that one. I know what this is, just 1 second. Yeah, remember when I told you whether it was a store or a store's order? Well, there was an S in my code because in my mind it had an S, and I believe it should have had an S. But anyway, now it doesn't have an S. So it goes ahead and performs the read, this time for the store order, and it performs the write. Actually, the write is pretty much the same process that when we fulfill the warehouse. The only thing that changes is that the output, instead of having the WHO data in their store's name and therefore being placed in this column right here, it will have the name of the proper store, which should have been identified, and the request is broken down into the proper columns. So that's that. This is the end-to-end with Excel. I just fixed a little couple things that will prevent you from doing it, and I will see if we can perform a R13.1 that fixes the problem with the menu, where it is not properly emptying the information down here. I might change this so that there's a button that you have to click so that it passes the data instead of waiting for an enter or something like that. And that's pretty much about it. In future versions we might do more data feedback, but this is about it for R13. I'm gonna go ahead and empty the data for this. Oh, we got a new button, delete outputs. You can hit this, bang, and you get rid of all those green sheets that we create in the process of producing an order. That was one of the things I wanted you to know. So that's that. Thank you for your time. I will be uploading this video and using it for the tomorrow meeting. And on top of it, my intention is to walk along with you guys, showing you the web app steps that have already been done and that are considered. which do not include everything that the application has. This has already 13 revisions on top of it. It just has a few bases to show how it could be different and how it could be more visual and interactive. But that'll be it from me for now. Thank you, and don't forget to read these notes. Pretty much all the changes are written here. I think so. Yes. I tried to double check it. Thank you guys. Have a good night or good morning. Bye bye.